So these are two Samsonite luggage. I believe they are spinner line models. What we're trying to do is we want to fix their wheels because it's broken. The luggage on the left, which is the bigger one, is actually tilted because I've already removed the wheel from it. So I'm gonna show you first how to remove the wheel, second how to purchase wheels, and fourth how to fix and reinstall it again. Let's open the luggage and find the area of the wheels. So normally for a luggage there's a lining that has a zipper. You will just open up the zipper and it will actually reveal already the wheels. So as you see, there's no screws here because I've already removed one wheel in the big luggage. We want to remove all of it so we can repair all the wheels. So I had a bit of a difficult time removing the other wheel. It seems that it had 5 screws instead of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last screw being on the back side of the luggage, like this one here. So there's a screw somewhere here. That's why I was able to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th screw, which was attached to this plastic thing that held it from inside. So the wheels from the big and the large luggages are actually quite similar in size. And the broken part here on the wheel, it's not broken entirely, but it did have already a lot of wear on the rubber part lining of the wheel. So if you can see, some of the wheels doesn't have the black rubber lining already. It was broken, so there's some residue actually on the wheel. So what we plan to do is to replace the whole wheel. The easiest, if you try and search luggage wheel on Shopee, Lazada, and other online marketplaces, is that they sell you the whole wheel replacement, which is the wheel and the attachment base. So it comes in a whole set. So it's easier to just kind of swap it out and then reattach the screws. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get to find the right size with the right measurements of screws, the distances of the screws. I didn't really want to do trial and error just to see what can fit and what cannot fit, because I'd be spending a lot of money doing that. So instead, I went ahead and tried to look for an actual wheel replacement. So to do that, I needed to cut this open, which I have actually done for this one already. So it would look something like this, the start. You'd find a hacksaw and or a saw and saw your way through the part where the wheel attaches to the axle, but not the plastic, but because that's an important part of the whole system. So just cut it up like so. You'd end up having something look like this. Here. And what you want to do is actually measure the inner diameter of the wheel like so. Or you could actually just also measure the diameter of the axle, which is equally the same. And then another important part to determine, or a dimension to determine, is the size of the wheel. Making sure it's not bigger than what would fit in this I guess wheel socket, you could call it, because if it's bigger, right, it would actually hit this part already. So imagine if it's a bigger wheel, it wouldn't actually fit in this casing, because it just allows for a certain size wheel. So again, you need to measure the diameter inside, like so, and outside. It could be a few millimeters, plus or minus. Just make sure that it fits your wheel casing properly. And then the next step is to actually go ahead and find a wheel. So I've actually been able to buy these wheels in Shopee. This wheel, one piece, cost about 100 pesos, so about $2. And when I tried it on, the diameter is good for the wheel size, and also the diameter for the axle. I then went ahead and searched, or just actually went to a screw and bolts hardware store and bought a few pieces of axle and lock nut bolt, and that fits the wheel. So I actually brought these to the screw and bolts hardware store along with the wheel, and asked them to find a screw that would work as an axle for this set. And luckily they were able to find for me this long screw. So I'll show you how it looks as I assemble it. Okay. Yeah, both sides are the same, so it doesn't matter. And then the lock nut screw, the rubber side would face outwards. This way the the bolt won't unscrew as you use it. And then you just kind of tighten it. I don't have a tool to tighten it now, but I'll do it later. And once that's good, you just reinstall it and you're good to go. There's a bit of an allowance here. So if you want, you could actually reduce a bit of the excess here if you want, just to create a more snug fit. But the wheel, if you notice, as it rests on the casing, it's a bit wiggly because the hole inside this casing has some imbalance in the hole, so it's not a straight cylinder. There's like one part wider, one part narrower, about 3 millimeters, I would say. So that's why it's a bit jiggly. But I mean, that's fine for me compared to having the rubber on the old tires have wear, and we have more problems lugging it around and rolling it around the street. So I'll go ahead and try and do this for all other wheels. So I've actually initially purchased one set, so 2 tires, and once I was able to properly fit it together, I bought the whole set of screw and bolts, and then eventually purchased the rest of the tires I needed, replacement tires I needed. So when you cut the wheels and you see a cylinder, metal cylinder like this inside the axle, you may want to keep it because it will actually create a snug fit around the screw that will act as a new axle. So let's try and put it in. So with this, it will create a more snug fit around the wheel. Make sure the lock nut is facing outward, the rubber is outward facing instead of this way, because as you screw it in, it will create a snug fit around the screw and will hold the lock in place. So there's less wiggling, which I'm happy about. So this is the finished result. As you can see, for the bigger luggage, I've changed the wheels on all 4. It's very stable. It's not bad actually, considering all of this costs just a few dollars or a few hundred pesos to repair. And then for the smaller luggage, I've actually just repaired one just to see how it would affect the whole stability, and because I was able to choose the right size diameter for the wheels, it's actually working out better. And I actually need to change the other wheels as well eventually, because I think it's about to wear down anyway, so might as well change everything else. So thanks for watching, and hope you're able to repair your luggage. Bye! So as a bonus, if you happen to come to see one of these things in a dollar store, these are actually meant for covering the foot of the chairs so that it doesn't scratch your flooring. You could actually use this for luggage wheels, like so. This is so after you travel and come back home, you could actually just wrap this around, keeping the dirt away from your floor, and then putting it anywhere you would want.